Good afternoon and welcome to Plymouth Regional High School, where today we have Bobcats Lacrosse. Hello everyone, I'm Weston Atwood. We are ready to bring you this big game here between the Plymouth Bobcats and the Pelham Pythons. Of course, this is a rematch from last year's semifinal in which Pelham came away with the victory in a close contest. Both teams are getting ready to go here. Pelham coming into today's action is 4-0, still looking for someone to defeat them. Plymouth, of course, coming off that loss last Thursday to Merrimack. As we're about ready to get underway in the first period, in the circle for the Bobcats will be number 14, Zach Ross. Meanwhile, it looks like in the circle for the Pythons, it's number 20-something, so we're underway. This is number 20, Charlie Cadden. Pythons get the win on the face-off, and they look to attack first. Moving the ball around now, passed over to Tucci. Tucci now over to Pratt. Pratt goes behind the net to Morgenstein. In goal today for the Bobcats is number 8, Chris Patnode. Meanwhile, in goal for the Pythons is number 15, Joe Fahey. Bobcats looking to attack here. Picked up behind the net by number 16 for the Bobcats in Sawyer Wilcox. Dishes it now over to Ross. Ross getting it back to Wilcox. Wilcox finds Farina. And much like last Thursday, we see the Bobcats employing their round offensive passing. Good look here. Shot. It's going to be blocked by the defender, number 7, Brad Rockford. But Farina with the ground ball gives the Bobcats a second opportunity. Ross now figuring out what he wants to do. Sets a screen. And they're going to call an illegal screen on Ross. A turnover for the Bobcats gives it back to the Pythons. Quickly now being moved up by Catton. Inside look there, shot blocked. That was Nutter who took the shot. Pythons look to get on the board first here. Pass back to Tucci. Tucci now over to Catton. McAdams gives it back to Tucci. Tucci now gets a screen set for him. Can't find anything now. Spins off his defender, but a good job to knock it out of his stick. That was Austin Appleby. Now the Bobcats look to press. Nice inside look there. Shot in the net of the goalkeeper in Ruffiange, but he just could not come up with it. But was able to keep it out of the goal. Nice move up there for Lindsay for the Pythons. Pythons moving it around now in the Bobcat end. Pass botched there by Morgenstein, but able to pick up the grounder. Ball still on the ground. Over on that far side, it's McAdam sending it to Catton. Plymouth playing some good defense as Ross hits the ground, but so does Catton. McAdam, a nice spin move. Over now to Nutter. Good defensive thing there from Hodge. Ball on the ground picked up by Patnode. Drew Hodges with a great defensive stand there as the Bobcats will regain possession for a little bit. They lost the ball but pick up the rounder. Farina has it on the far side. He has it knocked out of his stick. Ball on the ground. Farina hits the turf. Looking for a call. But the refs are saying it was a clean look. And they are going to call 1 minute for unnecessary now. So Plymouth will be a man up. No, they actually call that on Plymouth. Refs are having a conference here. There's a little bit of confusion. Thought it was on Pelham. Refs still talking it over. Coach Mouseoff believing that the Bobcats should be man up. So the Pythons are in a man-down situation. Good opportunity here now for the Bobcats, I believe. Still confused as to who the penalty is on here. It appears it's actually on the Bobcats. So the Pelham Pythons with the man-up situation. And shot score. It's number 26, Ian Morgenstein, putting the Pythons up on the board first, 1-0. So it was unnecessary roughness on number 23, Connor McGowan, that led to the man-up scenario for the Pythons, and they capitalized with the first goal of the game. Face-off now forthcoming. Ball being rooted around. It's going to be won by the Pythons after an illegal procedure by the Bobcats. As Catton now has it, dishes it over to Tusi. Ball on the ground. Scooped up by Pratt. Big defensive effort there from number 13, Rowan Drew. Gives the Bobcats back the ball. Pass over from Rosner. Looking for the net, but it's going to go wide left. Bobcats to remain possession as they win the foot race. Just past 7 minutes remaining in this first period. Rosner now has it. Looks to set something up. Light mist falling here at Plymouth Regional High School. That pass is going to go wide of Acton. And it's going to be another turnover for the Bobcats. Something they really struggled with last Thursday as well against Merrimack. Oh. Picked up there by Acton. He's going to fire one just a little high. My apologies, it was Monadnock they played last Thursday. Farina now over on the far side. Swings and gets the shot off. And we have a tie game as number 28, Nolan Farina, puts the Bobcats on the board. Great job there from Farina to read the play from behind the goal. Made some pretty good moves and found the wide open shot. So it's Ross and Catton now in the circle for the face-off. Ball still being fought over. Finally picked up by the Bobcats number 1, Austin Appleby. Appleby's trying to get the pass inside, but it's intercepted by Catton. Catton now gives it over to McAdam. McAdam over to Tucci. Little spin move there. Tucci loses the ball. Big grounder picked up by Ross. As Ross now looks to take it up the field. Couple spin moves off of Tucci. A lot of contact, but no call. Passed over to Wingstead. Wingstead now into Wilcox. Five minutes remaining in this first quarter. Farina with some nice moves there. Ball gets knocked out. Farina's on the ground. No call, but a lot of contact there. Bobcats, though, will still have the ball. Morrison has it now. Passes it back to Little. Jake Little inside look. Farina shot, score. Nolan Farina, his second goal of the game, off a nice pass from number 25, Jake Little, and the Bobcats will take a 2-1 lead. So McGowan will be on the face-off for the Bobcats. It will be Catton once again for the Pythons. As the Bobcats have retaken the momentum here in this first period. Picked up by Catton. He's had some room to work with. Dishes over to McAdam. McAdam had a wide open shot but could not rein in the pass. He will pick up the grounder though over there on the really far side. Passes to Catton. Catton now does have Nutter if he wants to give it to him. Tries to fake out Little McGowan. McGowan not buying it. Catton going back and forth, looking for a offensive look. Hits the turf there. Field not entirely wet, but a lot of players hitting the dirt here early on in this first quarter. Catton kind of moving backwards here. Just holding on to it. Finally passes it off to Nutter. Nutter now is going to have to figure out what he wants to do. He's over to McAdam. McAdam loses the ball. A beautiful stick check there by number 5, Josh Johnston. As Appleby now tries to dish it over to Hodges. Will be picked up now by number 16, Sawyer Wilcox. Wilcox dishing to Farina. Farina shot just wide right. Ball still on the ground over on the far side. Big hit there from Morrison. Knocks Haskins to the turf. As another shot there just missing. Pythons will come away with the ball. Big hit in the middle right there. Ball on the ground. Still on the ground. McGowan with a nice little hit there. Gives Rosner the ability to pick it up. And it's been all Bobcats so far in these last 5 or so minutes. Rosner dishing it over to Acton. Acton tries to get a pass down into Morrison. But Morrison can't come up with it. Pythons now have it on the far side. As number 7 for them, Brad Rockford passes it over to Tucci. Tucci, a couple spin moves. Still has the ball. Now it's knocked out. But a big grounder there picked up by the Bobcats. It's going to be a call against the Pythons. It looks like it's going to be a timeout called by the Plymouth Bobcats. Here are the minute 41 remaining in the first quarter. Minute 41 remaining in the first period as we come out of the timeout. Bobcats will have possession. Looking to get the last shot of the period off with about a minute 41 remaining as said. They lead 2-1, both off of goals from Nolan Farina. As we're back underway, Ross has it. A little nice move there. A lot of speed from the captain. Passes it over now to Little. Little gives it back to Ross. Bobcats look to set up a good offense. Morrison can't come up with that ball, still on the ground. Ball still on the ground, no one able to come up with it. Finally picked up by a Python, number 13. As there's now a flag on the field. It will be against the Bobcats. Nutter now on the far side, gets a pass up to McAdam. McAdam tries to beat his defender. Big stick check there by Johnston. 33 seconds remaining. Flag still on the field. And with that, it will now be a man-up situation once again for the Pythons. Second of the game, they scored a goal on the first one. Did not see what the call was. It's going to be on number 14, though, Zach Ross. Have to imagine it was slashing or something like that. 30 seconds remaining. Shot right into the net of Pat Node. As it was a good shot by number 20, Charlie Catton, but Pat Node right there to put it away. Running out of net. Dishes it now over to Drew. As Coach Mouseoff will take another timeout. 12 seconds remaining in the first period. 2-1 the score in favor of the Bobcats. 12 seconds remaining in the first period between the Pelham Pythons and the Plymouth Bobcats. Coming out of the second Bobcat timeout. Bobcats still in a man-down situation. Will be started here on this near side by Rosner. Rosner with two Pythons on him. A nice little move through the middle. He's got some space. 2 seconds, 1 second. Time's going to run out. So at the end of the first period, the Bobcats will take a 2-1 lead here at Plymouth Regional High School. Second period about to get underway here from Plymouth Regional High School. Wes now here to bring you Bobcats Lacrosse on Pemmy Baker TV. As the Bobcats had a great first period, getting 2 goals, both from number 28, Nolan Farina. So try to hand the Pelham Pythons their first loss this season. Again, a breezy, kind of overcast day here. Knocking on wood, but it is not raining at the moment. But still does not yet feel like spring here in the Plymouth region. We started now by Rosner's. We're underway for the second period. Plymouth once again still down in the man down situation. So they wait for Ross to return. Nice pass there to Farina. Farina now just kind of chilling behind the net. Trying to kill as much time as he can. Nice look there. Farina gets between two defenders. Was trying to dish it over to Little. Rosner, good look, inside shot. Blocked by the keeper. And ruffianed. They're going to call a push on the Bobcats. I'm sorry, on the Pythons. Rosner now has it. Plymouth does a good job to kill the penalty. McGowan, good look. Passes it back to Farina. Farina's going to be right behind the net. Just looking for Sawyer Wilcox, who had a wide open shot on net but could not pick up the pass. But a big ground ball for Rosner keeps it in the Bobcat possession. That one to Wilcox. Wilcox dishes it back to Farina. Farina now gives it over to Morrison. Couple moves here from McGowan. Back to Morrison. Morrison tried to beat two defenders. They knock it out of his stick. And a big ground ball from Robichaux. As the Bobcats had a good opportunity. Nice pick off there from Rosner. He's got a 4-on-3 advantage. Morrison shot, bouncing it in. And the Bobcats take a 3-1 lead. That all started with the interception by number 9, Matt Rosner. We brought it down the field, saw Morrison down low, and then Morrison doing a good job to bounce that one in. So it'll be Ross and Catton in the circle for the face-off once again, as it's been pretty much all afternoon. They're going to call the Bobcats for a hold. Pythons will win the face-off. Catton now passes it over to McAdam. McAdam just dishes it back to him. He finds Koch over on that far side. Morgenstein behind the net. Has the only goal so far for the Pythons. Jacoby Pratt with it for the Pythons over on the far side. Gives it over to Nutter. Nutter finds McAdam. Good job by the Bobcats defensively, not letting the Pythons find an inside man. Screen set by McAdam for Catton. Catton beats his defender. Right side shot. Missing just wide. Big ground ball, though, for Pratt. Pratt's going to try to dish it back to Morgenstein. Morgenstein can't come up with it. They're going to say that was a shot, though, and he will win the foot race. Pass inside to Catton. Catton thought about making a run for the net, instead goes around it. Shot wide right. Another win, though, by the Pythons. As the Pythons now taking two really good shots, just missing wide on net. Catton beating a couple defenders. Good job to keep the ball on his stick, but now he loses it there. Ball still on the ground. No one seems to come up with it. Finally, Hodges gets it, but now it's knocked out of his stick. Big ground ball for the Pythons. Koch dishes back to Nutter. Nutter shot wide right. But Koch will win the foot race. The Pythons getting a little excited there, starting the play before the timer was ready. Now we're ready to go. Koch passing it to McAdam. Nutter now on this near side is going to pass over to Morgenstein. Morgenstein way downtown to Catton. Catton and Ross fighting hard there. Catton just dishes it off to McAdam. Morgenstein now with an inside look. Hodges comes out to defend. Ball knocked out, but will be picked up by McAdam. As the Pythons keep it in the Bobcat end, as they have for about the last 4 minutes. Nice move there. Ball knocked out. Big defensive stand by the Bobcats. Be picked up by number 5, Josh Johnson. Passes to Patno. Patno tries to get it down to Appleby. Ball on the ground, picked up quickly, though, by Wilcox. As Sawyer Wilcox looks to set up the Plymouth offense now. Wilcox just going to dish it to Farina. Farina gets it over to Rosner. It looks like Ross is going to check off the field, and Wingstead will check on for the Bobcats. Nice screen by Morrison. Gets it to Farina. Farina thinks about taking a shot. Tries to pass it along the way, but be right into the net of the keeper in Ruffiange. Ball on the ground. McAdams can't come up with it. Big ground ball there for Johnson. He's off to the races. Got some room. Gets it to Morrison. Morrison into Farina. Farina can't pick up the pass, and he gets leveled in front of the circle. Another big hit there as Farina gets down. A lot of aggression right here in front of us. And it's going to be against the Pythons as the Bobcats will keep it. A lot of aggression there in that last 30 seconds. I'm quite surprised the refs didn't call anything. Both from Farina getting leveled and then Farina leveling the kid who leveled him. Rosner now over to Wingstead. Wingstead now just dishes over to Sawyer Wilcox. He's back to Farina. Farina with a nice move. Tries to get off the shot, but will be knocked out of his stick before he can get it off. But a big ground ball for the Bobcats. Number 25, Jake Little. Pythons have struggled picking up ground balls, especially here in this second period. Rosner, nice move, knocked out of his stick. Going to be picked up by Baisley. Baisley up to Nutter. Nutter gets it to Catton. Inside look, shot, score by number 9, Freddie Stamatos. And it's the second goal of the game for the Pythons. They cut it to within 1. Good pass by Ian Morgenstein, finding the wide open Stamatatos in front of the net. As we head to the face-off, it'll be Catton versus McGowan. 4:28 remaining in this second period. They're going to call the Pythons for a hold. It'll be Bobcats ball. They do quick work. McGowan, nice look here. Shot. Scores. As McGowan loses the helmet, there's going to be a flag on the field. But it's a beautiful goal from number 23. Junior Connor McGowan, giving the Bobcats a 4-2 lead. So we'll see what the call is. I believe it's on the Pythons, and it is. Be on number 7, Brad Rockford. I believe there's a little bit of aggression there. You saw McGowan with his helmet knocked off. So not only will the Bobcats get another goal, but they will also start with a man-up scenario. Pick up by Catton as the Pythons win the face-off. Pass intended for Koch. Sent out to the center field, though. Here comes Farina. Farina with a nice move shot, scores. Number 28, Nolan Farina, his third goal of the game. Bobcats now with a 5-2 lead. Farina picking up the grounder after a bad pass to Koch. And it's going to be Catton and McGowan in the face-off center. 3:56 remaining in this second period. Can we thank you for watching Bobcats Lacrosse on Pemmy Baker TV. Big ground ball from Catton for about 2 seconds. Gets knocked out of his stick. Will be picked up, though, by Baisley. McAdam goes back to Catton. Inside look to Nutter. Nutter shot wide left. See who wins the race. It's going to be the Pythons. Dish back to Tucci. Tucci over to McAdam. McAdam with heavy defense from Johnson. Passes it over to Stamatatos. Tucci. Defended by Appleby. Nice knockdown there by Johnson, but he can't pick up the grounder. Ball still in the air. Grounder finally picked up by Nutter. Nutter, inside look to Morgenstein. Pythons looking to get a goal here to bring it to within 2. Nutter beats his defender. Thought about taking a shot. Nice stick check there from Rosner. And now Rosner's got some green to play with. Pass over into Farina. A little behind the back shot. Does not find the net. But Farina trying to get done with some flair there. Again, Farina already with 3 goals in this game. Very close to getting his 4th there. Dishes it back to McGowan. Ball on the ground. McGowan, though, picks up his own grounder. Minute 44 remaining in this second quarter. As halftime approaches. Rossner has it. Bobcats will look to take the last shot. Pick set by Farina. McGowan. Inside look for Morrison. Ground ball picked up by Sawyer Wilcox. He tries to dish it into McGowan. Ball on the ground picked up by Farina. Farina making a run to the net. Trying to pass it over to Richard, but it's intercepted by the Pythons. 56 seconds back at him. Shot from Morgenstein's going to miss to the right. As the keeper, Patno, took a tumble trying to reach it first. But it wasn't enough to win the race. Johnson gives it to Patno. Patno thinks about dishing it back. Instead, hucks it downfield. Oh, bouncer finds the stick a Little. Little with some room to work with, 37 seconds. Morrison behind the net. Dishing to Farina. Farina can't pick it up cleanly. Inside look shot. Picked off once again by Tucci. Big stick check there from Rosner. Ball on the ground, picked up by Farina. 16 seconds. Farina with some quick moves. Shot, score! And he gets knocked over after the goal. We'll see if there's a penalty on that one. But it's the 4th goal of the game for Nolan Farina, giving the Bobcats a 6-2 lead. So, Nolan Farina is down at the moment after the shot he took. Looked like after he scored the goal, so we'll see. I don't believe there's going to be a penalty on it. But Farina does appear to be in some pain down there on the field. Athletic trainer is out there. Farina is up and walking on his own power towards the sideline. Coach Mousoff kind of taking a walk over to the official, just kind of asking what was up with that. As that hit was after the goal was scored. Nonetheless, the Bobcats have a 6-2 lead, 13 seconds here in the second period. Be Catton and Ross in the face-off circle. Ball up in the air, still on the ground. Still up for grabs, 5 seconds remaining now. Finally picked up by the Pythons. Passed over to Koch. Koch can't get it cleanly, and that's going to end the first half. But the Bobcats score 6 goals, 4 coming from Nolan Farina. We head to the second half. You're watching Bobcats Lacrosse on Penn Baker TV. They lead 6-2. Third quarter underway here at Plymouth Regional High School. Weston out here, bringing you Bobcats Lacrosse for Penny Baker TV. 2 minutes have come and gone here in the third quarter. You have not missed anything. Only thing you've missed is a changing goalie. It's now number 30, Joe Catton, in goal for the Pythons. As Ruffians retires after a first half in which he gave up 6 goals. Ball will go to the Pythons. Pass to Catton. Charlie Catton now some good moves. Gives it over to McAdam. McAdam finding Morgenstein. Morgenstein's dishing it back to Nutter. If you missed the first half, 6 Bobcat goals, 4 of which came off the stick of Nolan Farina. Ground ball there picked up by Johnson. Johnson doing a good job to hold on to it. Finds Rosner right there, inside look, Farina shot, scores. So that's 5 goals now in the game for Nolan Farina as he gets a beautiful pass from Captain Matt Rosner. Bobcats now with a 7-2 lead. And it's nice to see Farina even in this game right now. He took a big shot after that last goal he got in the first half. Down on the field for quite some time, but was able to walk off on his own power. Now comes in here, scoring the first goal of the half for the Bobcats. As it will be McGowan and Catton on the face-off. On a chilly, overcast day here in Plymouth, New Hampshire. Because again, like I say, I will never work these games when it's sunny and beautiful. That would just be wrong. Appleby hits the turf there. Whistle will be on the Pythons. As McGowan will start with it now for the Bobcats. McGowan over to Wilcox. Wilcox will just dish it right back. McGowan back to Farina. Farina can't rein it in. Ball on the ground, picked up by Lindsay. Lindsay dishing it to the keeper and Catton, but it almost picked off by Morrison, who had a wide open shot on net. As that one's knocked on the ground, Catton couldn't pick it up. But we'll get the grounder over to Nutter. Nutter trying to send one to the parking lot. Thank God that net's there, otherwise I don't think my car would have been safe. That one was headed for the football field over there at Plymouth Regional High School. Johnson goes cross field looking for Hodges. Hodges can't come up with it. It will be a turnover by the Bobcats. Nutter over to Catton in the middle of the field. He's just going to dish it to Tucci. Tucci now down to McAdam. Finds a wide open Morgenstein behind the net. As the Pythons look to bite back here. Tucci, McAdam shot wide, but Morgenstein will win the race. As the women's lacrosse team has come over to show support. Nutter now. Backing out. Getting it over to Tucci. Tucci gives it to Catton. Catton, big hit there from McGowan. Catton and McAdam just passing it back and forth. Now McAdam finds Morgenstein behind the net. Morgenstein tries to dish it over to number 17, Jacoby Pratt, though, can't come up with it. Big ground ball for the Bobcats. Rosner now into Farina, wide open shot. Farina can't come up with it, though. A big stick save there by Catton. Farina should have had his 6th goal of the game. Inside look now past to McGowan. McGowan shot wide, but big grounder from Wilcox. Bobcats attacking here with 5:52 remaining in this third quarter. Passes it now. Over to Rosner. Rosner checking what he wants to do. Got hit by Tucci. Beats Tucci's shot, and he scores. So Matt Rosner now picks up a goal for the Bobcats as they exact revenge here from last season. Now up 8-2 on the Pelham Pythons. It'll be Ross in the circle for the Bobcats. Catton for the Pythons. Ball still on the ground. Gonna call a whistle on the Bobcats. Started now by Catton. Catton now backing out. 5 minutes remain in this third period. Tucci now gets over to Pratt. Pratt gives it back to Morgenstein. Morgenstein now going around the circle to McAdam. Ball out of the stick of Catton, but he will pick up the grounder. Pass over into Morgenstein. Morgenstein, big defensive effort there. Ball's out on the ground. Big pickup by Ross. And that was a huge defensive stand by Rowan Drew. Big hit right in front of the official. They're going to call it on the Pythons. Bobcats now the good opportunity. Farina swoops around, and it's goal number 6 of the game for Nolan Farina. (9-2) now the lead as Farina's had himself a day for the Plymouth Regional Bobcats. What did you say the next home game is? Because this tells me it's Conval. But you won't be doing that one. So the next one you'll be doing will be Belmont on the 11th? Okay. Reminder, fans, our next broadcast of Plymouth Bobcats lacrosse will be this upcoming May 11th as Plymouth Regional High School will play Belmont. You can catch that here on Pemmy Baker TV. That is the beginning of finals week at Plymouth State University, but I believe I will be here. I might be able to talk one of my esteemed colleagues from the broadcasting department down there to come over with me. As a big win there by Appleby gives the Bobcats another opportunity to get a goal. Ball on the ground, picked up by McGowan for a second. He does get it finally there. Farina once again right in front of the net, looking for his 7th goal of the game. Nice look there. Morrison shot, and it finds the net. A bounce shot from Morrison. 3:31 remaining in the third period. 10-2 now in favor of the Bobcats. Face off now between Catton and Ross. I was actually wrong. It was Nutter for the Pythons. Then it was Peter Wingstead for the Bobcats. Pythons have it now. Nutter shot low and in. And a big tangle up between Hodges and Nutter, in which Hodges hits the turf, but it will be a goal for the Pelham Pythons as they look to answer back here, but they still trail 10-3. It appears there's not going to be any call between Hodges and Nutter. Oh, there was a lot of contact after that goal. It'll be Ross and Catton in the circle for the face-off. Next Plymouth Lacrosse game will be on the road at Campbell. That's this Wednesday at 4 p.m. They also have a home game this upcoming Friday against Conval. Again, that's all weather permitting, as Pelham will win the face-off. Big ground ball there from Catton. Catton now. Over to Morgenstein. Morgenstein back to Pratt. Ball being moved around well here. 2:39 remaining in this third period. Ball on the ground. Hodges tries to pick up the grounder. A lot of contact. Ball still up for grabs. Finally scooped up by Stamatatos. Shot off a Bobcat defender. Catton now for the Pythons. Over to McAdam. McAdam with a little look. Ball on the ground. Still on the ground. Big scrum for a huge hit. As Pelham's going to call a timeout. But it was not granted. So the timeout will be granted. As with 1:56 remaining in this third period, the Bobcats lead 10-3. Coming out of the Pelham timeout, 1:56 remaining in this third period. As mentioned, Bobcats on a 10-3 lead. Weston Atwood here bringing you Bobcats Lacrosse on Pemmy Baker TV. If you're just joining us, it's been number 28, Nolan Farina, getting 6 of the 10 Bobcat goals. He has had quite the day offensively. Pythons will have it. in the attacking end. Just dishing it now over to Catton. Catton's bounce shot right into the net of Patnode. Patnode gets it up to Rosner. Rosner's got some open field. Inside look, bounce shot. Looked like he was maybe trying to pass to Farina for a second, but will be picked up by Catton in net. As now Baisley makes a big run down the field for the Pythons. Big hit there from McGowan, but good job by Catton to hold on to it. So a minute 10 remains in this third period. Keep wanting to say quarter, I know it's wrong. Pass to McAdam. McAdam making a run behind the net. Inside look to Catton. Catton can't come up with it. Big defensive stop by Johnson and McGowan. And with 37 seconds left in this quarter, the Bobcats will look to take last shot. Hodges now gets to Wilcox. Wilcox looking for, I believe it was Farina in the middle, but a turnover now gives it back to the Pythons. 16 seconds remaining in this period. Picked up now by the Bobcats. They look to push. Big run from Rosner. He's got speed to burn. 3 seconds. Beats his defender. He's going to take a little bounce shot, and he'll score to end the period. So Rosner picks up a goal to end the third period. We head to the fourth. Bobcats with an 11-3 lead. Back here, about to start the final period of play from Plymouth Regional High School. Bobcats Lacrosse here on Penny Baker TV. Great first 3 periods for the Bobcats as they hold an 11-3 lead. So we get ready for the face-off. It'll be Ross and Catton once again in the center circle. And we're underway for the fourth period. Ross gets his stick knocked out of his hands. They're going to call a foul on the Bobcats anyway. Big pass over to Nutter on the far side. Nutter's going to dish it back over to Catton. Catton gets it to Tucci. As the Bobcats will look to close this one out. Tucci has it over on the far side. He's going to dish it back to McAdam. McAdam making a run on the right side. Tucci kind of directing him on where to go. Tucci guarded heavily by Little. Over to McAdam. McAdam just dishes it right back. Pythons have just not looked comfortable when they've been in an attacking position, as they can't seem to get an open look at a scoring chance inside. Tucci, shot from Catton. The stick went, the ball didn't go with it. Ball still on the ground, picked up by Catton though, to keep the Pythons alive in the Bobcat zone. Pass to Morgenstein, inside look, as Jacoby Pratt had a wide open shot on net but couldn't pick up the pass. Turnover there by the Pythons. As Patnode sends it deep down to Little. Little on the far side. Bumping into Wilcox. Wilcox dishes it back to James. That one's going to miss as they're looking for Ross. Some new faces in for the Bobcats. We have James in there as well as number 17, Vance Acton. We haven't seen him for quite some time. Ross now. Gives it over to Little. Little making a move on Nutter. Shot. Pass into James. James gives it to Morrison. Looked for a second like Little was taking a shot, but it actually was just a pass back to James behind the net. James, Little can't come up with that one. Ball still on the ground. Picked up by Ross. Knocked out of his stick. Catton flips it up in the air. Ball still on the ground. Big scrum. But a big ground ball there picked up by Acton. Acton now back over to Ross. Bobcats with an 8-goal lead. Gets it over to Morrison. McGowan now has it here. Goes way across to Sawyer Wilcox. Wilcox tried to make a move, instead backs it out. Gives it to number 22, Camden Swanson. James back over to Morrison. Morrison now sees McGowan, instead gets it over, tries to get it over to Swanson, but it's picked off by Ducci. Inside look to Morgenstein. Morgenstein dishes it over to McAdam, and McAdam's going to put it in for the goal. So the Pelham Pythons get the first goal of the fourth period. As it was great ball movement from Pratt, Morgenstein, and then finally McAdam to put it away. Going to see number 20, Charlie Catton, as well as number 14, Zach Ross, for the face-off. Scooped up by Catton. Pythons win the face-off. Catton passes it now over to McAdam. Catton takes it in, instead backs it out. Gets over to Stamatatos. Stamatatos with 1 goal in the game. Pass back to Nutter. Nutter gives it to McAdam. McAdam looking for Morgenstein. Morgenstein's going to go behind the net. Big defensive stop there by Drew, and they are going to call him on a foul, as it was a pretty vicious stick check there from Rowan Drew. So he'll be in the sin bin for a minute, and the Pythons will have a man-up situation as Coach Mousoff will take a timeout. 6:34 remaining in the fourth period. The Bobcats have an 11-4 lead. 6:34 remaining in this fourth period of play. Weston Atwood here for Penn Baker TV, bringing you Bobcats Lacrosse. Bobcats currently in a man-down situation as the Pythons will look to strike. Ball being moved around here. Pass inside for Morgenstein, instead picked up by Stamatatos. Ball in the air, no one in goal. Still no one in goal as the Pythons have it, but luckily Patton not able to get back in time. Scary moment there though for the Bobcats. Shot, big stick block there by Patnode, denying Morgenstein. Morgenstein's pass, McAdam can't come up with it. Falls down on the turf, comes up a little limp. And now the Bobcats will look to get it out of the attacking zone as they look to kill off the penalty in a big way here. They're going to call a push on the Bobcats, giving it back to the Pythons. And the Bobcats have killed off their penalty. Shot there, another big block by Patnode, denying Pratt that time. Pratt, some good defense there from Roy. Ball on the ground picked up by Hodges. Ball on the ground. Big hit. Hodges still with it, gets it down. That one off a Python stick picked up by Catton in goal. He's going to get it up to Robershode. Passing to Morgenstein. Morgenstein going behind the net. Ball on the ground picked up by Rosner. Rosner with a 4-on-3 advantage at the moment. Instead's going to back it out wisely. As with 4 minutes remaining, Bobcats just have to try to milk some clock. Again, fans, be sure to stick with us after the game. We'll have a interview with head coach Glenn Mousoff. Farina now, beating his defender. Looking for McGowan inside. McGowan's calling for it. Said this is it out to Ross. Ross over to Rosner. Farina now heading over to the bench as Acton will check in for the Bobcats. As we hit the 3-minute mark remaining in this fourth period. And it's looking good right now for the Bobcats. That one, though, knocked out of the stick of Rosner. Big ground ball by Baisley. But they cannot get it past the midfield line. Passes it back to Ross. Ross now over to Wilcox. Wilcox can't take the ball with him. Still on the ground. Kicked around. Picked up by Nutter. Nutter has McGowan on him right away. Nutter going to midfield. Was looking for Stamatatos. Ball on the ground. Big pickup by Morgenstein. He shoots, misses wide right. And it's going to be a race to the end line, which will be won by the Bobcats. Patnode has it. This is over to Hodges now. Hodges with some good moves on Stamatatos. Gets it over to Johnston. Wilcox can't come up with it, but he will pick up the grounder. Wilcox, nice move, dishes it out. Ball on the ground though. Picked up by Wingstead. Gets to Rosner. And with 1:22 remaining, barring a miracle here, it looks like the Bobcats will hand the Pythons their first loss of the season. Enacting some revenge from last season's semifinal defeat. Rosner just holding on to it at the moment. 55 seconds remaining. Passes off to Ross. Ross just keeping it behind the net. No real sense of urgency from the Pythons to get the ball back. Clock now at 30 seconds. Rosner over to Acton. Acton can't come up with it, but Rosner will be there to pick up the ground ball. Rosner is holding on to a big hack there from Nutter. Rosner, a nice spin move there. And that ends the game. The Plymouth Bobcats pick up the 11-4 victory here today at Plymouth Regional High School. It was a great game, as said, enacting revenge as they fell in the semifinals last season. And you have to give the tip of the hat to number 28, Nolan Farina. Farina with 6 of the 11 Bobcat goals, as he was an offensive juggernaut, especially in the second period, when I believe he picked up about 2 or 3 in that period alone. And then also a big job for him to come back after getting injured in that second period, coming back and having a pretty big third. Also, tip your cap to number 9, Rosner, the captain, having a great game. Couple goals, couple assists, as they will advance now to 4-1 on the season. The Pythons will fall to 4-1. And a reminder, fans, to stick with us, as we will have an interview here shortly with head coach Glenn Mousoff. Also remember, our next broadcast will be against Belmont this upcoming May 11th for these Plymouth Regional High School lacrosse. As we head down now to the field with Coach. So join now with head coach Glenn Mousoff. Coach, great win. Must be nice to, this team losing in the semifinals last season, come back, pick up a nice 11-4 victory here.
Every year is a new year, new teams. We knew they were going to be a good opponent, a lot of different options offensively, tough kids defensively. So we knew we couldn't afford to have kind of a lousy follow-up game like we had last week. So, we focused in these past couple days of practice and, paid off today. Coach,
Nolan Farina, 6 goals today. How'd you like what you've seen from him out there today?
Yeah, Nolan had a terrific day today. Was quick and was finishing his shots and, just doing all the things necessary. It wasn't just the goals. Obviously the goals are one thing that, people may look at, but, as well, he passes the ball quite well, rides hard, very active on ground balls. So he played a complete game today. It wasn't just simply the goals, but certainly they were noticeable.
Big games this upcoming week. Conval on Friday, an away trip to Campbell this upcoming Wednesday. What are some things you're doing to prepare for those games?
You just, not to sound too much in terms of sports cliches, but you take them one at a time. You focus on the next game, so that's Campbell, and we're going to have to be ready going down there, long bus trip, and we've never played them before, so, I'm sure they'll be ready for us. So we just got to kind of take care of some of the things that we got to fix from today's game, and just keep our focus and be ready for Wednesday, one at a time.
Best of luck, Coach. Thank you very much. Good win.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate the coverage.
So that was head coach Glenn Mousoff. Again, final score here from Plymouth Regional High School. The Bobcats get the win 11-4. Be sure to check out the Pemmy Baker TV Facebook page for upcoming games. I'm Weston Atwood. Thank you for joining us here for Bobcats Lacrosse.